Project Management Insights, providing project managers with professional development in the interpersonal skills areas of leadership, team building, and communication. Hi, this week before we get started, I want to talk to you about becoming a patron of the Project Management Insights podcast. I've set up this patron-only service so that you get access to additional material for a small fee per month. You'll get a bonus monthly episode, early access to the podcasts. You also can gain access to templates and other online materials. And there's also an option to participate in a monthly live stream Ask the Expert session. So if you're interested in finding out more about how to become a patron of Project Management Insights podcast, rock on over to Patreon, www.patreon.com/Project Management Insights, and join our community. Look forward to seeing you there. Now for this week's episode. Hi, today I want to talk to you about not letting your issues become risks. It's really interesting when I've looked up the definition of the word issue. And an issue is an important topic or problem for debate or discussion. And the word here that I've tended to pay attention to more is important, because I think sometimes we don't consider our issues as important. And this becomes the problem then when we don't pay enough attention to them and they do become a risk and tip into that space of causing problems for our project. So in my world, an issue is another name for a potential problem. And as we know, the whole idea of delivering our project is about getting from, a position of where things were to the new place of where we want things to be without there being any problems, or being able to solve the problems as we go along this process of what we call a project. So the best thing you can do then is to monitor these issues. Keep track of them and investigate them so that they don't become a problem, a real problem. So treat your issue as if it's a friend. You know what it's like with your friends. It's better that you see them, talk to them, acknowledge them, understand them, then they feel loved and okay and wanting to be part of what's going on. Well, if you look at your issue as a friend and treat it as if something that's actually going to help you to get to the outcome that you want, which is a successfully delivered project, then they're not going to turn on you. They're not going to become that big problem that is going to cause your project to be a risk. And we know that risks generally create problems for the business. And again, that's not your aim. Your aim here is to keep things at an even keel to be able to deliver the change for the business the way that the business is expecting it. Issues for me are things that can be monitored and dealt with quite easily, as long as we note them, pay attention to them, keep track of them. And as the project manager, you don't need to be responsible for managing the risks. The risks can be managed by the team. The issues can be managed by the team. You've got to manage the risk. You've got to manage the potential risk, but the team can manage the issues. So the best thing you can do is to monitor and track the issue and delegate the issue management to your team. Now, what does issues management look like? Well, for me, that's about understanding what is this important topic or problem that needs to be looked at and debated, discussed, or resolved. It's about talking with the team, getting the team involved, having those discussions about this issue and understanding whether it is going to be a big problem if something's not done about it. An example might be that someone says that there's a problem or there's an issue with data input, as an example, where they see that data in one area doesn't match data going out. And you might need to understand what the potential problems are with the data matching and what problems it might cause for the project if this is not understood and resolved. And so what you might do is delegate one of the team members to be responsible for investigating the problem with the differences in the data, and then how you might resolve that, or what would happen if you didn't resolve it. So what's going to happen if all the fields don't translate from one particular place to another place? Is that a problem? Is that an issue for invoicing? Is it an issue for records, customer relationship management in the future? What's the problem going to cause if you don't deal with this particular issue? And in that, they can bring that investigation back to the team and allow a decision to be made about what needs to be done to resolve the issue. And you might find, as an example, that the fact that the data doesn't match isn't a problem. The key data fields that you need might match, and that's all that you need. And therefore, the fact that the other ones won't be a problem anymore. And so therefore, the issue won't be a risk because you've identified that it doesn't matter that those other data fields aren't needed or required anymore. And so it just makes it easier for you to say, well, okay, issue resolved. It's not going to become a risk for the project. Whereas if you weren't to go and investigate that, and then what you find is that those particular data fields that don't match are absolutely critical to a financial aspect or a customer relationship management issue for the business or customer relationship for the business, then you've got a huge problem, and it could resolve or could turn into a potential legal risk for the business when data is not in the right place where it's needed to be for legal reasons. So be aware of these issues. As I said, treat them as your friend. Look out for them, investigate them, and that way then they won't become risks for you on your project. It's the best way to ensure that your risks are managed in the best possible way, is you're not going to add to your risks. You're actually going to be ensuring that you have less risks overall for your project. Okay, that's it for today, and I look forward to next week. Thank you for listening to this Project Management Insights podcast. Be sure to visit projectmanagementinsight.com and sign up for our monthly newsletter or to receive updates on upcoming training. You may also find mentoring offers there.